Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahuwah, the ruler of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who the world ignorantly calls God, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahusha, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This video is another video about Ruth, man. I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about it, and I just hate false doctrines. So I'm gonna go in. First, I'm gonna go over the false scriptures that tell you where the country of Moab is that Elimelech sojourned in. Then I'm gonna go to Ruth chapter 4 and destroy that Ruth was a bondservant doctrine, the false doctrine. So let's get it. Numbers 21:20. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read from 18, verse 18, Numbers 21:18. The princes digged the well. The nobles of the people digged it by the direction of the lawgiver with their staffs. And from the wilderness they went to Mattanah, and from Mattanah to Nahalil, and from Nahalil to Bamoth, and from Bamoth in the valley, that is the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah, which looks toward Jeshimon. Okay, now that's Numbers 21:20 telling you that the country of Moab is in Reuben's land. And let's get that. Finna get that. We're gonna go to Numbers 32. And then I'm gonna read Ruth. Numbers 32, verse 1. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle. And when they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, that behold, the place was a place for cattle. The children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke unto Moses, to Eleazar the priest, unto the princes of the congregation, saying, Ataroth, Dibon, Jazer, and Nimrah, and Heshbon, and Elealeh, and Shebam, and Nebo, and Beon, even the country which Yahuwah smote before the congregation of Israel is a land for cattle, and your servants have cattle. So that's listing all the places that's in the country of Moab that was given to Reuben. Let's get that. Furthermore, this is still Numbers 32. This is verse 37. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon and Elealeh and Kiriathaim and Nebo and Beon, their names being changed, and Shebam, and gave other names unto the cities which they built. That's where the country of Moab is. It's a lot of countries right there. It's a plain country. It's a lot of countries right there. That's that's Joshua 13:32. These are the countries which Moses did distribute for inheritance in the plains of Moab on the other side of Jordan by Jericho. Okay? That's precept upon precept telling you that the plain country of Moab is in Reuben's land. Period. And it wasn't no Moabites or Amorites living there for 300 years. That's Judges 11:26. I'm not even gonna read that. You go read that. Now let's get Ruth so I could destroy this she was a bondservant doctrine. That's hogwash. The book of Ruth, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehemjudah went to sojourn in the country of Moab. So he went to sojourn in Reuben's land with his brothers. He didn't go sojourn amongst his enemies in the Moabite land south the Arnon River. That's ridiculous, man. Them people wanted to kill us. So I already established that the country of Moab is in Reuben's land. Now, that's why Ruth was called a Moabite and a Moabitess. But she wasn't called, she was called a woman of Moab and a Moabitess. But she wasn't called a daughter of Moab as a descendant. She wasn't called that. Like like any other time Moab is mentioned in scripture. It uses a completely different word that applies to citizens of a land. It doesn't apply to descendants of a patriarch. Now let me move on because this is gonna be quick, man. This is Ruth 4. Then went Boaz up to the gate and sat him down there, and behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spoke came by unto him. Salakia came by unto whom he said, Ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, Sit down here. And they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman, Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab in Reuben's land, sells a parcel of land, which was our brother Elimelech's. And I thought to advertise you, saying, Buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not redeem it, then tell me that I may know, for there is none to redeem it besides you, and I am after you. And he said, I will redeem it. Then said Boaz, what day you buy the then Salaki. Then said Boaz, what day you buy the field of the hand of Naomi, you must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. Okay, now I'm gonna break this down for you. This is why he said that, okay? Because you're supposed to keep the name of the man alive. That's why he said to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. Ruth was already a widow, and she had sons. So even without the sons, her husband died, she inherited that land. So Naomi inherit that land because she's a widow and her husband died. Now her husband has sons, which means those sons were supposed to inherit that land, but they died without children. Now Ruth is the widow of one of those sons. So by law, if you buy the land from Naomi, you have to redeem redeem Ruth because she was married to the last living descendant of that bloodline. So you have to redeem Ruth widowhood and marry her and bring up children under her husband's name to keep the name of Elimelech alive. So you have to marry Ruth, you have to have children by her, you have to try to get a son, and the son is going to be named after Elimelech's son, not your seed. Now, Boaz probably already has sons. It don't say what's it called? Insinuate. I'm guessing. But the other kinsman, he most likely didn't have any sons. So if he would have did it, it would have ruined his inheritance too, that he inherited from his parents. So if he would have redeemed Ruth and had children with her, then he would have had to give that son his family's land too. So he said he didn't want to mar his inheritance. It ain't that he didn't want to do good because he said, I will do it. He said he was ready to do it, but he couldn't do it because it would have ruined, it would have cut off his family name. So that's why he said he couldn't do it. He didn't say he didn't want to. So that's why the law didn't take place where Ruth would go up and spit in his face and take the shoe off his foot and all that. Because it still got taken care of. So Ruth wasn't no bondservant. She was from the land of Reuben. She was a citizen of the country of Moab. And Naomi came and took the child because she was the grandmother. She was playing the midwife. And they said it was a baby born to Naomi because the baby was named after her son. That's why it says a baby was born to Naomi. It's common sense, man. Well, maybe it's not that common because there's some brothers out there wrestling with that. But that's it. With that, I'm gonna close out. I know the truth, and I'm gonna keep learning it for the rest of my life. Shalom.